Right, kia ora. Welcome to the All-Stars team announcement for the Summer Series All-Star game that's coming up. I'm here with Liam, the founder of the Summer Series, who will be introducing the concept for you, and then we're going to go through some team lists and let you know about the event that's upcoming really soon.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, mate.
Yeah, look, we're basically we've outdone ourselves this time in trying to produce something that I think will give a best experience for everyone and basically make college basketball, a bit exciting but fun in one event to really jam pack everything together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good way to end the season. I definitely agree. Try and make a fun event for everyone. It's probably not going to be the funnest for you in the background. It never is. But I think what we've done here is put together a really good event for the kids, which is the main thing for us, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're having uniforms and you get them for next to nothing, that's awesome, isn't it?
I mean, if I'm having uniforms and I get them for next to nothing, mate, I'm a happy man.
Stoked,
anything for next to nothing, mate, I'm from Upper Hut. So,
well, they do say the hut goes hard, don't
they? The hut does go hard, mate. You're about to find out. We're on.
Look, and these team lists, so the way I guess they were structured was you had your selectors that went out and looked at the players and were watching the games, and they came back with basically 20 girls and 20 boys that they thought would be the best for this event. And looking at it, there's some pretty good players in there in the mix, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. There's Wellington is a very, big geographical area, and we're lucky enough to have some really good coaches out there that have contributed towards this list, and obviously your social media presence and getting the names submitted to us as well definitely helped. And I think, the girls game, the 20 girls that are there that have accepted the invitation and the 20 boys, it's going to make for, good basketball. I definitely am interested to see what the coaches do. We've got some really good names that we'll talk about a little bit later on, and it's going to put these kids in a good light, mate.
Absolutely, and that's all you want really, is you want to give these kids that opportunity, that platform. And even though it might not be a trial for a rep team or an international team, it's still something to look at and go, this could be actually a really good event to see these kids play against one another in different matchups, different lineups, and see how they adjust to that situation.
I think it's also a good opportunity to see them play together. There's a couple of dark horse names in there that, people really haven't had a good option to see, and I'm interested to see what some of those kids do with an opportunity like this in the year 13s.
No year 14s in there?
No, there's one. There is one. There's always one, mate. The hut goes hard,
Yeah.
And so, with that last opportunity to play in the area, represent their school, represent everything that basketball's about. And for some of them, it'll be their last college game. There's no nationals for them. The teams that don't qualify, and this game's played after qualifiers, so it'll be their last game as a high school thing. So we hope they make the most out of it.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the female lineup for the College Sport All-Stars event happening in Silverstream for 2021.
I'm happy to announce the purple team. The purple team for the girls game will be Lauren Tafata from QMC, TK Rahui Lolo from Sacred Heart, Nina Bout from Sacred Heart, Amare Ross Simi from Wellington East, Carly Brooking from the mighty Hiratonga College, Tawhirakura Doyle from QMC, Ebony Vol from Hutt Valley High, Asha Pasia from Hutt Valley High, Tia Pavihi from QMC, and Tana Leota from St. Mary's.
Now we got the pink team, so Dastani Foley from Sacred Heart, Isabella Tate-Jones looking at that mighty Wellington East Girls College now, we can say that. Hina Takawa, Thompson Lolo, she's gonna kick ass in that, I reckon, as well. Tia Rimuweta, Jordana Davies, Sacred Heart, Minnie Simpson, Hiratonga. We've got Tane McKinnon from your neck of the woods, the Upper Hut. LA Kitisini from Mana, Holly Morgan from QMC, Queen Margaret, and last but Tatiana Mariko from Aotea. So there's some pretty strong names in those lineups, especially around the top four kind of schools that the Mana, Sacred Heart, East, and QMC lineup. There are some good players in there. So mixing them up and having those matchups in there, it's gonna be for a game, isn't it?
Yeah, I definitely think when we looked at the teams and how to, I guess, get them going, it was really about let's see who can stop who and who some of the matchups were going to be. And as I made a couple of phone calls around, it was more seeing a little bit of like, who doesn't she like playing against? And let's see if we can match that back up. You know, have a bit of fun with that. And sorry, girls, but you know, also the reality of it is we want to make it a competitive game. We didn't want one team to be a landslide, and I think when you look at those teams, they're really constructed around style of play. Pink have a lot of shooters. Minnie Simpson will be one to watch out for, obviously summer series sniper, along with a lot of easy girls who are good in triggers that can, you know, use kickouts. Tane McKinnon's going to be a bit of a dark horse. He actually goes to Taita College. I'll give you that props, Taita College, well done. But plays for us because they couldn't get enough team together. And she's been an absolute asset out at Upper Hutt and is really well deserving of this. Then the purple team, you know, you're really looking at a lot of scorers that like to create. Obviously, there's only one ball out there, and some of them won't be used to playing off ball a little bit, but any single one of those girls are going to be able to put the ball in their hands and take off and get buckets. And so I think it's going to really put forward a good competitive game that should, if it's done right, come down to the wire, which is what you want. You know, I'd love to see Lauren Tafata taking a game winner or kicking out to Amare to see if she can hit an NBA level 3, or seeing, you know, Izzy Tate Jones or Hine go off and figure it out on that last little one. And I definitely think that pink team with Dastani and Hine have the defensive advantage, and so we'll see if they can look to use that as well, mate.
And looking at some of these girls when they've come back from the Stephen Adams camp, for example, you know, a lot of them played in that and they got coaching from, you know, the looks of Lindsay Tate, just coaches that are dedicated to the game and have a completely different perspective on the game in Auckland compared to in Wellington. So how do you think that's going to impact the game? You know, are you going to see a bit more Auckland style ball or a bit more Stephen Adams camp style ball than you will maybe college sports style?
I think like it's going to be hard to see some college sports style basketball, you know, like the girls' grade especially, those teams have been training together for a long time. You know, these girls probably bought the saying, the Hut goes hard back, with their style of basketball. And so to mix them up and break them up, it's not going to be the cleanest, most structured game of basketball, but it is definitely going to be a well-played game with a lot of feistiness. You look at the Stephen Adams games, that, you know, well done, definitely to that camp. Great job, beautiful end product. That girls' game was, they were there, man, and they were there to compete no matter what. The boys were there to kind of look pretty, and a few of them looked okay, but those girls went out there to, you know, really battle. And, you know, there was a bit of no blood, no foul there for a little bit with some of the referee calls. And so I'm really excited to see the referee crew you have put together for that, to see what we get away with and what they don't, you know?
Absolutely. Well, I guess you can put some of that down to, you know, skill and how you know, adjust to the level of officiating as well. But there's also an aspect of, you know, working together as a team, finding the right gaps and basically committing to the game as well and giving it your all 100%.
I think it's just their competitiveness, mate. Like this group of girls here have played against each other or with each other for a long time, and you know, like these 20 girls are going to go out, they're going to compete, and, you know, I'm just excited to see what they do.
I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at Nina Blott as she came in and we mic'd her up last week. Let's see how she went against Mana College.
5. I wonder if this is on. Is this on? Running, running. Nice, TK. Red. Whoa. Middle. Stay there, Tia. Pass your screen. Hey. Good job, Jay. These are doing good. Sorry, that was my bad down there. Just make sure if you're running your lane, make sure you're on the opposite side of me. That's all right, Christian. Good day. Good day, Christian. That was all ball. Stay there, Lani. Good job. That's okay. Wait, just make sure you're hopping in on that plug as well.
I guess what we'll do, like some great words from Nina there. Well done, Gil. Really looking forward to the end of their season, and as they go play through these games that, are just warm-ups before semis and finals, and definitely probably don't get a whole lot out of at the moment. They just need to, I think the 4 teams that are up there, Mana, QMC, Sacred Heart and East, get your battle plans ready to go, and let's put on a good semis and finals. That girls final, hopefully it's a good one, 2-point game. I don't want to see no 20-point blowouts, girls. Let's make it a good one, and hopefully they put on a good event.
And hopefully you'll be able to watch those live. We're not sure where, but hopefully you will, and everyone will be able to see them. And I'm looking forward to watching those games, because I know they're going to be, especially those semi-finals, are going to be very intense. And some of the semis might even be to be the finals.
You don't think you're going to be good enough to officiate that final, mate?
Oh, look, sometimes you gotta take a few hours before you take a few dubs, But I'll tell you what we'll do, Sam. We'll jump over to the boys team, because this squad, and we saw the 20 names. There's a real mix of boys there, and I haven't seen enough of the boys game. I've officiated a few of the boys leagues, and most of them have been blowouts. But there's 2 or 3 teams there that I think could be contenders to win the College Sport Cup.
Oh, look, mate, I think you can never count out a St. Pat's Town team coached by B. Peasy. He managed to get his boys up into 4th spots, and he's got some commitments with the Swish at the moment, but they could pull an upset off, mate. You've seen a few people come back. Tafara's come back from Saints practices now that season's wrapped up, and by all accounts, to a couple of videos that are flying around, he's played pretty well against Stream, and you'll never get someone more competitive than Rufus, and he's really going to look to battle in there. Mana College are coming with a chip on their shoulder of, hey, we're going to do it this year and prove everyone. And to be honest, I think that they're going to be the team that, it's theirs to lose a little bit there. They're pretty well stacked up. Stream, you never count out a Stream team. They are going to press you, and if you crumble, Terry's going to get you, mate. That's just going to be the reality. But I think people have called it a 3-horse race. Don't be surprised if Patstown end up in that final, mate. Depending on who they play and how they match up, I definitely think they could get there. But I'd really be looking at, Nathaniel, Kafaru, Levi, Randall, all those Mana boys to lead their way through. With Arthur Trisdale's got them in some great shape. And I'd be looking at Kenny to really get those Scots boys firing again. Andy, what did he shoot in summer series? 50 something?
He's shooting in the 60% from 3, and that's crazy stats, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm hoping he gets a dunk. I had him for 17s. I know you can do it, mate. I'll give you $100 if you get one. Now, if you look at that Scots team and how they're built, the Troy Viliami's come up really well, and they've got some great role players. Gregor's out there hitting some threes, so big shout out to all the coaches and those boys for the work that they've done. It's really got them to the point where it is, in my opinion, a competitive top 4. The last couple of years you've known it's going to be a Tawa and Scots final, and everyone else was just playing for 3rd. And this year, I think the season's gone in a really good shape. Boys didn't change teams as much as they changed their undies, and so there's a bit of loyalty this year, and they've kind of stayed true.
Absolutely. And I think that's the big thing as well, is making it a competitive top 4, because, you look at these leagues, and when you have a clear split between the top 4 and the bottom 4, it doesn't make for the best of competitions, and I'm thinking, the 2, or even last year where Rongotai were coming in the 5th and 6th, but they still had that chance to win. They still wanted to push to get to that kind of national spot in case that regionals didn't go ahead due to the worldwide pandemic stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
I've never heard of it. But it's that sort of thing that makes it competitive, and we're really lucky to be able to witness games. Watching that Mana Pat's Town game where Town came on top. That was a good game to watch, and maybe the outcome wasn't what Mana expected or wanted.
I don't think it was the outcome that anybody expected other than BPZ, let's be honest.
But however, that sets us up for the finals. You might see a 1-4 again, and we'll have the rematch of the century.
Exactly. So
let's take a look at that boys list now and see the teams and what the selectors have put together. Right, so start us off, Sam. Who have we got on the pink team?
So on the pink team for the boys, we've got the big Nathaniel Salmon from Mana College, Carter Berg McLean from St. Pat's Silverstream, Inacio Hill from Wellington College. Been a bit of a bucket this year, kid, I'll give you that. Murphy Rogers from Wellington College, Ariki Tongia from St. Pat's Silverstream. Mr. 45 points himself, Cairo Leong from Hutt International Boys. Josh Crowley Napier from Hutt Valley High School. Atuli Asa from Altair College. Kāwharu Hippolyte from Mana College. And the sniper from Rongotai, Isaac Parker.
I'll come in with the purple team. Look, we've got Tafara Gapare. He's going to come straight in from Scots, and like we said, he's the aerial one.
Yeah.
Levi Ware from Mana. Jaden Mairi from Silverstream. Tomasi Pavihi from Silverstream as well. Troy Nickel from Scots, getting the two Scots boys in there. Patrick Freeman, man, Mr. 27 rebounds a game during Summer Series. Maxwell Tumanga from Altair. Tom Paul from Pat's Town. Arthur Pilcher, another one of your boys. Why am I reading your boys? From the mighty Upper Hutt College, and Benji Lesniak from Wainui Amata College. So a great player pool there, and I'm sure it was hard to basically take these teams and separate them, or these players and separate them, simply because of the defense, the matchups, and everything.
Yeah, look, I mean, there was a lot of phone calls had between a couple of people and a couple of key coaches around there to make sure that we've, again, put on a competitive game. It's what we want. I don't want to see a team go out there and landslide within this all-star setting, and we really don't want to see one team go out there, get an early lead and not be able to bring it back. You know, much like the Stephen Adams games, you know, one team got out huge, the other team brought it back, and that's a really competitive game, and that's what we're after. And I think with the player pool that you've assembled there, not only are they the top players in that top four setting, you know, the couple of boys from Altair have managed to really impress and, you know, get a lot of coaches' favour. A couple of boys down in that Division 1 setting that not really a lot of people see of have really worked quite hard and deserve that limelight that they've got. And so, you know, when we looked at these teams and we split them, and me and you had a lot of conversations, and I had a lot of conversations with a lot of other people, I think we've really managed to put on a competitive game. And hopefully the boys show up and they show out. You know, St. Pat's Silverstream's going to always have a good crowd. That school's renowned for having crowds for, you know, first 15 rugby and stuff like that. So hopefully everyone shows up and we can really put on a great atmosphere for these kids and showcase them.
And I mean, at $2 a ticket, that's next to nothing. You know, that's not even pocket money. That's not even legal, you know, hourly wage. You know,
don't tell my kid that. It's what I pay her to clean the car, mate.
$2. But seriously, that's $2, and that's going straight back into these kids as well.
Exactly.
It's going towards making this event better for everyone, which I think is necessary. And honestly, at the moment, the ticket sales are excellent, simply because people want to see these guys play, and even the girls, they want to see them play. And plus, there's a whole competition and event section right in that smack bang middle. You know, we're looking at a dunk contest, we're looking at a 3-point contest that people can look at and watch. And, you know, the last time we saw a proper dunk contest has got to be Hoop Nation.
Yep.
And that went off.
Shout out Hoop Nation.
That went absolutely off. That was insane. Watching everyone, you know, people were staying up till 9:30, some by choice, you know, that had to broadcast it, and then some not by choice. But regardless of where you were, you wanted to be there and see it. It was incredible. The atmosphere was electric. It was just so good seeing players do their thing and getting an opportunity where we haven't seen anything like that before.
And I also think, like, the key thing for these boys is it gives them a chance to have a last showcase, have a last hurrah, and really put on, you know, for the area. You look at Friday night ASB games, and they do a great job, and a lot has to go out to the coaches, you know, the countless hours they put into these kids, and a lot has to go out to the kids for the countless hours that they put in. So I'm really excited to see what they can put on and where they can go to. And look, boys, bring the fire and let's put on a game. And St. Pat's have some new rims, so let's see what happens.
Let's destroy them like we did the Newlands one, shall we?
Well, Bowden, that was him, not me, mate.
Yeah, no, like I said, you know, Jacob, this is a great story. Jacob and I, we actually went down before the Summer Series finals. I think it was 2020.
Is that when the hoops at Newlands were like this?
Yeah, no.
Malachi Reid had just destroyed them?
Yeah, no, it was
Collins,
Malachi Reid. No.
Yeah, Malachi Collins.
I was going to say wrong one, Bo.
Yeah.
And no, it would have been 2020 semi-finals, so this is pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And they were on about an 11-degree angle, and we got them up to about 6 or 5. But Honestly, it was
It's
just
the
one of
work
the,
behind the scenes that you just don't see, eh?
well, I mean, you know, when you
No wonder you've got the job you've got, mate. Congratulations on that too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well done.
But I'm also, you know, we're looking at this whole 10-foot thing. You know, every time we post something online, there's always a comment in there going, oh, 10 foot. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do this time, Sam. And when you've got these brand new rims, we're going to measure them. And we're going to do that right before the dunk contest to prove to everyone that we've got 10-foot rims.
Oh, I'm all for like lowering those things down so I see some cooler dunks, man.
Oh,
Like,
look,
boys, if you
we're
come
gonna
to
do
the dunk comp with some average ass stuff that my fat ass can do, you're off.
Speaking of the dunk contest, let's have a look at the competitors for not only that, but the girls and boys 3-point shootout.
So, looking at the girls' 3-point shootout that we're going to go to, the participants are Dastani Foley, Sacred Heart College, Minnie Simpson, Hiratonga College, Tane McKinnon, Upper Hutt College, Nina Belt, Sacred Heart College, and Isabel Tate Jones, Wellington East.
Then I'll just jump quickly on the boys. You got your boy Jordan Hemi, and I know he's your boy because he goes to Upper Hutt College. You got Leighton Hilliard, from Tawa. Levi Ware from Mana, big step in there, like we talked about, you know, before this. 15 threes in one game, that's insane. And Inacio Hill, again for Wellington, shooting extremely well.
So, looking at that 3-point comp, mate, like, let's just go all in out favourites. Who have you got coming out on top for the boys?
Oh, I don't think I can pick a favourite.
Don't be like that.
No,
I know you've got one.
No, I can't. Look, I'm leaning towards Levi Camp simply because of the way that he shot during summer series and the way that he's been shooting throughout college sport this season. It's been something to watch because, you know, seeing him shoot is different. It's something that I don't think I've actually seen, you know, anyone being able to do. You know, it's hard to be consistently good, but with him, he's firing them up and he's making them most, if not all the time. And when you've got players doing that, you know, it's pretty simple to win 16 open shots.
Yeah, you know, and I think I think it's going to be a tight race between Levi and Jordan. Both of them have put a lot of time under the ball and really look to put up a lot of shots so that they can get to a point where they are considered shooters. I don't really know Leighton Hillard. He, you know, a Rob Gold coached kid, and Garth has stepped in this year and done a great job there, mate. He could potentially go off, and you never know with Inacio Hill. You know, the Tom Grice gene pool could come through, and he could just make something happen. You know, Tom's renowned for being a horrible shooter one game and good the next, and so you never know. Inacio may be able to pull it out, but for me, I think it's going to be between Jordan and Levi, and I have to go with the Upper Hutt tried and true and hope that Jordan pulls it out. Have my back on that one.
$100 on the line?
No, definitely not. That kid gets enough for me. So we flick straight across to the girls and where we're at. Where you going?
Can't do it, mate.
Mate, you're a bit soft here. Pick one.
Like, if I'm being honest with you, I haven't seen her much this year, but Isabella Tate Jones, and I've seen her absolutely dominate that 3-point line. Again, it's another almost identical situation to Levi Ware, is she can shoot, and if you know, I was lucky enough to watch her get almost fouled out in playing against Sacred Heart in that game, and she couldn't shoot because she was on the bench most of the time. But when she's off the bench, man, she's dominant, especially in that 3. You cannot leave her open.
I think you look at all of these girls, I think any single one of them could win it. I know I gave you a bit of stick before for sitting on the fence. I think it's going to come between Isabel Tate Jones and dark horse out there, potentially Tane McKinnon. You know, I watched her come out in her first game for Upper Hutt, hit 7 threes. Back to back to back to back to back. And
To back to back?
Yeah, to back to back, mate. Like she can flat out shoot. I think Isabel Tate Jones has the cleanest shot for the 3-point comp. There's not a lot of mechanics put into it. It's a good, clean, smooth stroke, and she'll be able to get that off nice and easy. So I'm excited to see that one. It's going to be a good shootout. That's for sure. Do you want to quickly go over the format for it, just so that everybody's aware?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very easy. It's 16 balls, and you got 4 of them that are your bonus ones, and you can select anywhere that they are. You don't get one rack. You got 5 locations to choose from. You pick it all before the game, and we set it up for you. It's pretty straightforward. 1 minute, you've got to get as many in as possible, and those bonus balls, they're worth double. So that's really your key. You know, you need to find an area that you think is good, or split them between one and go, that's what I'm going to take, and taking those bonus ones will be the key to winning.
Izzy, get on that shooting machine, mate. You're in town. You got an advantage. I want to see your work.
Absolutely, and we'll quickly touch on the dunk contest now. We haven't talked about the competitors, but it's simple. We've got Tafara, and we've got Josh, and we've got a few of your Upper Hutt guys as well.
Yeah, so we've got Max from St. Pat's Silverstream. Sneaky bunnies. This kid can jump, and he's not really a big name per se, but has been a real key piece for St. Pat's Silverstream. He grinds, he does everything well, and I think he was unlucky to miss out on that 20, same with a couple of those stream boys, but this kid can jump. And, I'm excited to see what Max you can pull off, mate. And then obviously there's the crowd favourite, the 6 foot flat Chalk from Upper Hutt College, who just has pure bunnies, mate. We've watched this kid pull off 360 windmills on different, don't get me wrong, it's on the low hoop at Upper Hutt, but everyone loves a good low hoop dunker. But I think he could surprise some people. I would like to see, and I am going to put it out there, boys, there's 4 reviews. How many dunks do they need to know?
All you got to do is make something that makes the judges go, wow, really, isn't it?
Exactly. So, but how many are they going to get most? At most.
So I think it's 3 that you're going to get. So you get 3 to try in that minute period.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a pretty lenient minute. It's not like you didn't make it before, but you got to hit something in that 3, and then those best 2, the ones that get the highest scores, will move on to that final straight away.
Yeah. Boys, I want to see something good. Have a bit of a practice. Think about the stream layout. See what you've got. Bring in a teammate. Show me something good. All of you can jump, and let's have a good look at that one, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And really quickly, just before we wrap things up, what do you think the judges are looking for? Obviously, they're unannounced at the moment, still pending, but I've heard rumours that one of the best and most famous dunkers, Josiah T, is coming in to judge. And if you know him, and I know him, man, I've seen that boy fall flat on his feet over dunking.
I don't know if it was his feet that he fell flat on, mate. Look, I mean, I definitely think he's the most viral dunk in New Zealand. Josiah, obviously, for those who don't know, look him up on TikTok or Instagram. I think it was one of his reels. And, he went hard. He was at a dunk competition with a very low hoop. I believe it was for primary school kids, and he's just kind of entered in there, and he's gone for a spectacular dunk and really stuck the landing on that one.
But what are they going to be looking for?
What I think we want is something that's to the best of their vertical ability. Tafara's can jump out the gym, and so I don't expect to go up and just tap it on in. Josh Crowley has the length and the arm control to really put up a big dunk, and Chalk is going to be that crowd favourite. He's the shortest one out of the entire field, and
plus he's in Upper Hutt.
Plus he's in Upper Hutt. I think Max is going to draw a bit of a crowd there, but Chalk's bunnies are out this world, and I promise you now, we've been doing some work in the background, and he's coming with something decent. All right? It's not going to be jumping a car. We can't get one in. We've already weighed that. We measured it up the door, and we can't drive one in, and Stream weren't that keen on it. But there is something coming. I promise you that.
Oh, I love it. Hey, and look, this is basically just the start of it. We've got a whole run towards this game coming up on the 10th. If you haven't got your tickets, allstars.nz/tickets, best place to go for it. And look, Sam Toomey, great to have you. Thanks for coming to the couch, having a yarn.
Cheers, mate.
And look, we're really looking forward to this event, so make sure you come along, support who you can, get on socials, get sharing, get liking, do those things, and look, we'll see you on the 10th.
Yeah, don't forget, follow everyone. Cheers.